Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Listen in.
Starbucks. It's a great day for coffee.
Why are there ridges on Reese's peanut butter cups? Probably so they never slip from her hands. Could you imagine? I'd lose it. Luckily, Reese's thought about that. Wonder what else they think about. Probably chocolate and peanut butter.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Don't Blame Me. Your favorite podcast, or one of your favorite podcasts, next to all of our other podcasts. We're an advice podcast where we give you wonderful, amazing, life-changing advice that will change your life. If you want to watch the video version, we're over on Patreon. You can also support the show that way and join our live streams, become friends, make some friends. And we're going to shift some lives today. For the better, for the worse. Who knows? But Melissa, why are we qualified to give this advice to people?
We're qualified because Kamala Harris came to us and said, hey, fellow Californians, I'm here for the people, and you also represent the people. And so I bestow upon you the greatest honor that a future president can give. And that's the gift of gab for giving advice. And we said, MVP, Madam Vice President, future president, thank you so much. Now that you do not live in our state, we will now rise as the highest ranking females and take on this mantle of being for the people, and we will get microphones and talk for an hour. We expanded our roles over the years from 1 hour to 3.5, and here we are. So thank you, MVP. We greatly appreciate it. And let's play ball.
Go get them. Yeah, we love our Mamala. Thank you so much, Mamala. And yeah, also everyone, check to make sure you're still registered to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Please
Mm-hmm.
make sure you're following all the team or like Kamala HQ accounts, all that. I had to refollow twice. And I was like,
I haven't
this
got
is
kicked
sketchy
off
on TikTok, but I'm good now. But like, it was like twice that it happened. And I've also been like thinking about, I've got to brush up on reading about our local elections. Cause you know what they're putting on the ballot again?
Yep.
Gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, cool. This is the first time I'm learning about a state's constitution. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is, we can put that in ours. So learning so much, keep learning. Everybody keep asking questions, keep staying curious.
Especially now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also be aware, have you turned into a single issue voter?
Mm-hmm.
And is that something that you specifically take issue with other people? You know? Good question.
Valid question.
It is a very valid question. So if you want to call in for this podcast, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send an audio message at meganpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also send us an Instagram DM. We are having a wee bit of issues with our Instagram DM requests and not necessarily seeing them all. So if you did send one in via DM and we have not responded to it, you can just shoot us an email and be like, hey, sent you a DM for don't blame me. This is my username. And we can like manually check to make sure it came through. But you can also always send it to the email address. For the audio versions, that is the voicemail and audio, like voice memo, that has to be under 3 minutes. For the written version, under 300 words. And then for all of them, you need to be 18 or over, have your parents' permission. We do ask that you let us know what your age is and all other relevant information. So if it's about a relationship, how long you've been together, other people are involved in the circumstance or story, how old they are, what your relationship is like to them. Give us the examples about what's going on. You know, paint the best picture that you can so we can give you the most accurate advice that we can. And no one ever takes me up on this, but I do think something that is what a way to convey a vibe in few words. Who would play him in a movie? You know? Not just like looks wise, but like, or you could say, think of a Claire Dunphy kind of character. To me, I know exactly who that is. Mm-hmm. So you can always do that. And again, if you are going to pick roles from Game of Thrones, please make sure to note that a lot of incest happens in there. And unless you're wanting us to infer that, I would avoid incest-related characters.
I haven't seen but one episode of Game of Thrones, and it didn't deliver in the way that I was expecting. But if you use a Game of Thrones character, I'm just going to assume that it's incest. Yeah. Because that's what was told of me. The one episode I watched had no incest or dragons.
Which episode did you watch?
I don't remember. It's been
Not
years.
The first one, because the first one has incest.
It wasn't the first episode. I was coming in. It was the first episode of maybe season 3. I don't know. But I just spit everywhere. So apologies if you're watching the video and saw it. But I'm just gonna assume that it's incest.
It's a fair assumption to make, like, statistically.
Yeah.
It is, you know? And, like, there's other shows that have incest that, like, is not the first thing that comes to mind. How to Get Away with Murder. There's at least 2 incest plots in that. Mm-hmm. But you have to remember. You know? Because you go, oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of them adopted, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, but to me,
it's
the emotional aspect of it, it's still
terrible. It's just not as bad.
Yeah, but sure. But it's still bad. Still very bad. We need to stop talking about incest. We talked about incest off mic. Like,
anyway, I was going to say, I've been watching a lot of cuts of Modern Family since you mentioned Claire Dunphy. Mm-hmm. And I've been getting a lot of Claire and Lily core. They're the same character.
Yes. I love it. I was watching like edits, like I was watching Cam and Gloria edits, which I love. But I recently got into Aaron Brockovich edits. I've never seen that movie. The way I have to see it immediately. I'm obsessed.
It's not a comedy.
No, I know. And for the longest time, I thought this was. Is that their show called that? Hold on. I think I'm just to say someone's name. I am about to just say someone's name. There is a show that sounds like it should just be called Andie MacDowell. But Andie MacDowell is an actress's name. What's the show I'm thinking of?
She was on a show that...
I don't think it's her, though.
Oh, okay.
It just sounds like Andie MacDowell. And it's like a blonde woman.
What's the show about?
A woman.
Oh, Ally McBeal?
Yes! Thank you. So I also... Aaron Brockovich, Ally McBeal, to me, those were the same fucking thing. And then I saw this clip of Aaron Brockovich on TikTok, and I was like, this is...
It's not the same at all.
A movie.
Yes.
This is not, again, that, whatever. What is that one called that you said?
Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal also gives me, like, female Monk energy, like Monk the TV show, or, like, Scrubs. Like, that's, like, the same era of TV to me.
Ally McBeal was out in the 90s. Scrubs was 2000s. It's not even the same time period.
Same vibe to me. I know nothing about it. Never seen it in my life.
Do you want to get your mind rocked about Ally McBeal?
Yeah.
So she's a lawyer, but she also, like, it's a comedy, but, like, I would say it was one of the first dramedies. She's a lawyer. She's in her 20s. She's, dating around and stuff. But she also just, like, sees shit all the time. Like
Sixth Sense?
Not even, like, Sixth Sense. It's, like, I don't even know if you remember this, but you probably don't. The Blockbuster Dancing Baby.
No.
There's this baby that would, like, dance like this in the Blockbuster commercials. And, like, there were episodes where she was just seeing that dancing baby.
Okay. What?
Yeah. She also, I need to watch it as an adult because I know that I fully did not understand it as a child, and I didn't watch it regularly. I don't even think I was allowed to because they were like doing things that I wasn't allowed to see. It was like the first show too where they had a gender neutral bathroom. So the characters would like be in like, it was like stalls of bathrooms. And so they would like have conversations in the bathroom, men and women.
I never even thought about there was a time before that.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. It was a show that everybody talked about. Like it was like that water cooler. When they say a water cooler show, it was that. But I was a child, so I didn't fully understand it.
Wait, so it is categorized under cringe comedy.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a real category. And I clicked on it. And some of the other examples are The Comeback, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Ali G Show, Girls.
It's
Always
very
Sunny,
in the same.
Impractical Jokers, The Mindy Project, The Office.
Yeah. All half these shows I love.
Fleabag, Veep. Cringe comedy. I've never heard that term, but like that perfectly encompasses that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, you know, I'm not so far off because Erin Brockovich is also a lawyer.
No, she's not.
She is now. I don't think she was during the time. But she worked at a law firm. Yeah. It's like a legal, something legal is happening. So I'm like, maybe that was my tie.
It's based on a true story. The water was polluted.
I had no idea until I'm watching this, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I opened the comments, people were like, oh my God, and like what Erin Brockovich is doing now is amazing. And I go, this is a real bitch? And I like looked it up and I was shocked. And I was like, I have to see this movie now.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, she like won an Oscar for it. And the whole time I was like, I can't believe you, like, and I was so confused because again, in my head, I'm thinking Ally McBeal. And I go, I can't believe they won an Oscar for that. Oh.
One fun thing about Erin Brockovich is, you know who repped her, right?
Who?
The Girardi firm, as in
shut the fuck up.
Tom Girardi, as in Erica Jane's ex-husband. Yeah, they're not legally divorced yet. Separated her spouse.
Wow.
Okay, well,
on that note.
Maybe we do a But Am I Watching of the first episode of Ally McBeal.
Which, not to be confused with Erin Brockovich.
Or
Andie MacDowell.
Andie MacDowell.
Hey, it does make sense though. Like how these were all connected. Yeah, I knew you would. I was like, I'm not that far off. And anytime like Mods would ever say like, yeah, Andie MacDowell. And I was like, the show? And he was like, no, the woman. And I was like, okay. So in my head, I thought it was kind of just like the Ellen show. Like it was like Andie MacDowell had a show called Andie MacDowell. And then the more I saw her, I go, this doesn't really fit with the other projects she does.
I remember when I think of Andie MacDowell, it was seeing her in a commercial. Like she was the spokesperson for something, but I don't remember what it was. But that's when I think of Andie MacDowell, that's what I think of. But
it was like an Activia kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, hope she got that bag. When I think of her, yeah, I think of Maid, which was a show I auditioned for, and I did not book because her daughter booked it, and then she played her mom, and they were like both fantastic in it. Like not mad about that at all. But I remember when I think she was, I want to say, I can't remember if she was even attached at the beginning, and then I was like, why the fuck do you have me audition for this? This is mother-daughter. Like this is they are related by blood. Like this is a much better cast. But yeah, and she's in oh, she is in Beauty Shop, which we watched a trailer for. Moss has never seen.
The one with Queen Latifah?
Yes.
I can't believe he's never seen it. Oh, I don't know why that's shocking
because
to you.
As a huge Queen Latifah fan, it is shocking to me. I'm like, what? I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Okay, well, let us give you some advice. Now knowing that you know all this about us, you know our tastes, you know what we care about, and we're going to fix some lives, hopefully.
All right. First up.
Hey, Meghan and Melisa. I'm currently 19 and I use she, her pronouns. I just started my sophomore year in college and I'm super excited. I applied for a travel abroad program through my university. It's highly competitive and I do not think I'd get in. So I applied to be able to look back on it and say, oh, I gave traveling abroad a chance, but I didn't get into the program. Well, joke's on me. I got in. I didn't even think it was a possibility, so I didn't put much thought into going. Now I'm wondering if I even want to go. It's a huge opportunity. I would leave in January at the start of the spring semester and be gone until mid-May. I signed a year lease in July, so I'd have to find a lease takeover, see if my parents will keep my cat, and just so many little things to prepare for being gone for that long. I can't decide if the pros outweigh the cons. Any help would be appreciated. I really want to go. I guess I'm just nervous. I am naturally an anxious person, and I feel like I may be in my head more than I'm admitting. Please offer some advice. Have a great evening. You gotta let me know where, because that depends. Because I know you said it would be for the what semester? Spring?
Mm-hmm.
January. Okay.
January to March. May. Sorry.
May. So not but it really depends on like I think like weather too. Like I had friends who studied abroad for like the winter semester, so they like came back in January, but they like went to a place that has like a climate of like immense snow and things that like were not what we were used to. And so there was a lot of the stuff that like they couldn't see and like things that they would have wanted to do in that country that were like that. But I mean, I think like I say go. I think like it might be stressful and anxious and like planning, and you might have to kind of like get all of those things lined up. And like it might even be stressful when you're there for a bit, and like you might have all of that. But I think that's a really good lesson. I think it's a really good experience to kind of have that. And there's as long as you don't say when you come back. So I lived there, which is what everyone I know studied abroad. Like the way they came, it was like Madonna coming back with an accent. I go, you were on a couple months vacation. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that is wild. But it's like one of the things that like I thought I really, really, really wanted to do. And I was like determined to do it. It would have been so expensive. And I also didn't even stay in college that long. But I think it really is for a lot of people a once in a lifetime opportunity that then turns into something more. So a lot of people I know who did study abroad, end up prioritizing travel a lot more into their like adult lives. And if you're someone who tends to be kind of a bit anxious, do you ever see yourself moving abroad for a couple months on your own accord? And I would assume the answer is no. And so you're kind of being given an opportunity to do something out of your comfort zone, which is someone who like also really like loves routine and thrives on that kind of stuff. I love getting opportunities to do something that is like kind of out of character for me, but it's like handed to me in a way that like I just have to like say yes and like follow through with it. I don't have to like plan that and pursue that. And if you hate it, it's only a small period of time. But all of that rests on where are you going and also how expensive is it? Because at least at my school, studying abroad could be way, way, way more expensive than like just like a regular program. And then the credits might not like totally transfer. And then a lot of people had to like stay an extra semester at school. So I think if it's in like the financial ways that you could do it and you're excited about the city, I would say go for it.
Yeah. When I was in college, I don't know what group I was in. I want to say it was my dental society group. But anyway, the discussion of study abroad came up and I was like the only person that had zero interest. Like, I did not want to go study abroad. I love college so much. Mm-hmm. And I did not want to leave my like friends, activities. I did not want to go. And the professor did not understand that. He was like, why wouldn't you want to go? Is it money? And I said, no. I was like, I just do not want to go. Mm-hmm. But you want to, like, you wouldn't have applied if you didn't want to go. Like, it takes time and effort and answering questions and also usually interviews too, to be able to do this. And you got in. And now, like, you're just doubting yourself because it seems a little scary. Like, those small things that you mentioned, I don't think they're that big of a deal. Like, finding somebody to rent out your apartment, that's easy. Like, that's mm-hmm. easy to do. Finding, like, asking your parents to watch your cat, that's easy to do. Like, nothing about this just seems overly difficult. I think you're just nervous because it's a new experience, but you wanted to do it. So, like, you got in now, and now you don't, and you said, you know, I don't want to look back, and I applied because I wanted to say, like, oh, I gave traveling abroad a chance, but didn't get into the program. You got in. Now you're scared. Mm-hmm. Now, like, let's say you don't go, and then you're going to be look back like, oh, I got into this very competitive program, but I didn't go because I was scared. Yeah.
I get the same way with like overwhelmed by not big decisions, but like little things you have to do, and like chip away at it. Tell someone that you want to do this, but you're feeling overwhelmed. And the things that like I'm the exact same way, like small, minute tasks like that overwhelm me so quickly. but they're so easy for other people. And so there'll be times where moms will be like, I'll call and do this one for you. Like, I'll remind you to do this or whatever. And like, it's easier. And I always think like past you was making a decision for the most ambitious, exciting, like adventurous version of you. And that version of you exists because that you made a decision for that person. And so you can be that person. Like, you don't have to adhere to like the anxious, worry, secluded version of yourself. Like both of those versions of you exist. And so making decisions for that other version of you, you can just do that. And like, it's scary, but like at a certain point, it just becomes another thing that you've done. Once you've done that thing that's scary, or you've done that thing that was stressful or whatever, then you can do more things like that. And I always think that like, when we look at other people like, oh God, I wish I could be like that. It's like, you can. It just like takes the amount of like trying and then changing up to be how you are. But just knowing that like, it's such a small blip in your life that you might love it and it's going to be so sad because it ended so quickly, and you might hate it and it's going to end just as quickly. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big believer in like, if you seek out the opportunity and you're granted the opportunity, take that opportunity.
Right.
Because if you were really not interested at all, you wouldn't have applied.
Yep. And you said it was highly competitive. Like, good job.
Yeah. You don't want to regret it. And you're far more likely to regret not going than you are going.
Mm-hmm. Have fun.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a blast. And we'll always be in your ear. So
yeah. And depending on where you're going, if you're looking to make friends, if you're not in our Facebook group, join our Patreon. We have people literally all over the world. Like, and even people who might not live there, but they're like, oh, my best friend's there, or might be studying abroad there. We have a community that can be there for you. And even just like you want to stay inside and like not socialize, join the Patreon, hang out in the live streams there.
Yep. Doesn't matter what time zone you're in. We get people getting on at 2:00 in the morning their time.
Sometimes we just watch people sleep.
Also, we'll have other people call them to make sure that they come to the
wake them up.
Yep.
Yeah. Other people are cooking dinner for their husband. Other people are hanging out with their roommates.
Oh, there's
their roommate. Yeah. Kira's listening going, bitch, I did get married. Yeah, soon it'll be me. One day.
But you're never cooking, so.
I do cook.
Never on the live stream.
Not on the live stream.
Every Friday.
Where would I put my computer?
No,
There's not
but y'all always get tacos.
Oh, yeah, we do, because we do it on Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into the next few.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
All aboard! Welcome to the Friskies Express. Please keep all paws and tails inside the train. To the right, you'll see Crunch Canyon. To your left is Filet Falls. Now you're passing Party Mix Peak. Today's Delicioso tour is almost over. But don't worry. With Friskies, there's always more to explore. Check out friskies.com to explore more.
The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid is about performance. Not just on the road, but in life. With not only trunk space, but room to make memories. It's electric, with a backup plan, where the only speed that matters is how fast you can slow down. The Volvo XC60 plug-in hybrid. Performance where it matters the most. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more.
And we are back, and it's time to hop in to the next one.
Hello, Meghan and Melisa. I need your advice. Going a little crazy in the 2020 lockdown, a couple of my friends and I experimented with nudism in our respective apartments and found a passion for it. Eventually, we went out on some outdoor excursions together and loved that even more. There's actually no better feeling than being completely naked in nature with people you love, letting the sun kiss every inch of your body.
Melissa, did you write this?
No!
Okay.
Since then, we've had traditions to take a nude beach day together every summer and to spend a weekend at a naturalist resort every year. Outside of these trips, we're not really nudists, but we're less inhibited about our bodies, or at least we were. This year, both of my friends dropped out of our plans. One because she's entered a serious relationship and doesn't want to cross a boundary with her partner. The other because she is dealing with some insecurity about getting older and ridiculous beauty standards. I respect her wishes, but I'm heartbroken because I have loved these trips so much. Now I'm at a crossroad. Do I go to the nude resort by myself and try to make new friends in the community? Do I try to convince my friends to go anyway? Or is it time to give it up? I know I probably won't do this forever, but I really like the freedom and connection of getting naked socially, and I'm not ready to end it just yet. Please let me know what you think. Thank you. They gave their name. We won't say it. She, her, age 25. I commend you because I would love to be outside
So
naked.
I said, I think she wrote this.
I did not. I am not 25.
No, she's not.
I would love to be, and I've never experienced this. I would love to be outside naked, just like buns in the air, really butt chugging some sun. I've never experienced this. I do like going to like naked spas, but I understand your love for this. And I think if you love something, you don't let it go until you are ready. You don't let it go because other people are interfering with your love of being, you say you're not really a nudist, but you are. Go by yourself. If you feel safe, go by yourself. And I hear that these are very safe communities. Go by yourself, make some new friends. Or, you know, if you don't want to go the full thing, just go to a naked spa. It's not the same as being outside naked and letting what did you say? You said let the sun kiss every inch of your body. Is that what you said?
Something similar. Melissa found that beautiful.
I did. It was very poetic. Letting this, yeah. There's actually no better feeling than being completely naked in nature with people you love, letting the sun kiss every inch of your body. The thing is, though, if you go and you have to make new friends, you won't love them yet. So are you going to get the full experience of that euphoria that you feel while lying outside and just absorbing the warmth and being one with nature? I don't know. But I think if you love it, then you try and go by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I'm wondering why, like, your love of, like, nudity and being naked has to rely on your friends also being there and also being naked. Because, like, to me, I don't view nudity as a sexual thing.
Yeah,
nor do I view nudity as a group project. But if it is nudity in a group project, I do view that as somewhat sexual. So, like, to me, I'm just like,
I don't think it has to be sexual.
But I was going to say, though, but I think, like, do you just long for having these trips with your friends because you like hanging out with your friends? Like, they don't have to be nudity if they're not comfortable doing that anymore. You don't have to give up spending quality time together with them. That's what I'm trying to say, is that, like, I think, like, the contingent on, like, you loving being naked and, like, loving hanging out with your friends are not mutually exclusive. And so you don't have to give that up. You can go to your nudie things alone and then hang out with your friends with clothes on and, like, plan a trip or something that you can do with each other that doesn't involve being naked. And I think if your friendship connection is lessened because you're not naked together, I think that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a question when y'all were doing this during the lockdowns.
Where?
And like, were you wearing a mask while you were doing it? Or were
I
you
hope
just
so.
6 feet apart? Like, but imagine a mask and nothing else on.
Yeah, that's how I expect you to be. It's a pandemic. People
Or
are
they're
dying.
just outside and 6 feet apart.
Yeah. This is like and I'm not judging. It's just like, you know how you have those things where you go, wow, people are so different. Like, this is something for me, the sheer amount of fear and terror, the way I would never be able to like unclench my entire body, not for like the like insecurity nudity thing. I am a very naked friend. I have no issue changing in front of people. Like, I think every single friend of mine, male or female, has seen me naked. Like, I have no issues with that. I share a very legitimate fear. Karuchi and I both share this of, as someone who identifies as a woman who is born female, I have too many holes. And the idea of the less barriers between my holes and the world increases my cortisol levels through the fucking roof. Like, lakes terrify me. Swimming, even with the bathing suit bottoms on, like the idea of getting in a body of water or going on a hike, going outside with my flaps open, like that's just, no, that terrifies, like to me, I'm like, oh my God, something's gonna crawl up inside of me. And like, it's so crazy. Like I never even recognized that, like not everybody has that fear until Karuchi and I were both talking about it. And then Tasha was like, what? And we were like, oh, this is not a normal amount of like worry that Karuchi and I literally, as soon as we hopped out of the water, we got priority for like the wash down showers, and the way we would literally bend over, pants off, and like full hose bidet our ass and vagina because we were so fucking paranoid. Everyone else was like, yeah, that's a problem.
I've never thought about this. So yes, new fear unlocked, but where I've thought about doing this is on my side porch over here.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as long
not
as no
the one
one
with the couch.
Yeah, the one with the couch.
Oh, the one with the couch.
Yeah, the other one I can't because there's an apartment building and it's too high.
But
they would see over
right next to the street.
Yeah, but if I'm lying down and then I put a blanket over the gate part, you can't see in there.
You're right.
But what I'm scared about is that sometimes delivery people will deliver to that door instead of the front door. And that's what I'm scared about.
And what I'm scared about is there is a spider who lives in the first gate there.
But they leave. They leave during the day. They only come at night.
No, as soon as the sun goes down and I have to exit that door, I go, oh, the spider's coming. I know it is. Lives right there. Well, you know, I love how different we are all as humans.
Yes, me too.
Like, this is something that you would have to pay me a lot of money and promise me a lot of fame to do. Like, Naked and Afraid.
That's
the naked is
to me.
not the fucking issue to me. It's
because you have to be there when the sun is down. I want the sun on me.
And again, I have no problem with the upper body.
Okay. Well, next one.
Hey, Eminem, I'm needing some advice about moving out of my ex-boyfriend's apartment. I'm 26 and go by she, her. I just got out of a 2-year relationship. We moved in together right at the start of the second year. I wouldn't say we were toxic, but we were that couple that broke up and got back together every 5 minutes over silly things. When he started speaking about marriage and kids about 6 months ago, I realized I did not see a future with him. The thought of bringing a child into this roller coaster of a relationship actually made me switch my birth control to the arm implant so I didn't have to worry about accidentally missing a day. Honestly, fucking smart. So needless to say, he did not take that breakup well. Honestly, I also don't believe he's taking it seriously. Like I said, we were on and again, off again for 2 years, so he still texts and calls me. I don't answer the phone, but I do entertain his texts from time to time. I'm currently living with my friend, but my apartment will be ready in a week. All of the furniture in the house is mine, so I gave him a heads up that he will need to get new furniture. Now I'm trying to see when to get my stuff out. He's a smooth talker, and the breakup is fresh, so I still love him. I'm afraid if I go, he will talk me back into things, and I promised myself I would stand for him. How do I go about retrieving my things? Thanks for your help.
Take your friends.
Or just have your friends go. I would have no fucking issue if I had a friend who was like, I am breaking up, and I'm worried I'll get back together. Will you go with me? I would say, baby girl, sit your ass down. Mm-hmm. You're not coming. I will go. Like, we will go and we'll get this shit done for you easily. And dare I say, there's a couple men I would have loved to do that for. So I think that like it's strength in numbers and it's accountability in the sense that like, you know, we all have categories we put our friends all into categories. Like you've got a friend who like you can do no wrong, where it's like, I just hit someone with a car and it's like, well, babe, I bet they deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a friend who is like, I think I'm going to call my ex, and they're going to take your phone and be like, don't be a fucking dumb bitch. Like, I will not let you do that. I will barricade you so you can't. So be mindful of the friends that you pick. Like, tell the friends that you know that like will also hold you accountable and make you stand firm and like stand with you in that, and not just kind of like be wishy-washy and like let you take the driver's seat in that. Just pick those friends. And if you're not sure who that friend is, pick a friend who had a really fucking shitty relationship, who you hated, and they finally got out of it. Pick that, like, pick a friend who knows and understands. The more that you can like tell people that like you're breaking up with him and this is you're worried you're going to get back together and you really don't want to, those friends will hold you accountable in that moment. But if you keep that to yourself and you see him by yourself or whatever, like you have to also like not entertain these text messages anymore. Like you have to be all the way out, 10 toes out, both feet out, whole body out, not like one pinky left in the pool. So if you're embarrassed by it, pick the friend you'd be most embarrassed by knowing that you're still entertaining their text messages and tell them. Because that to me, once you tell like that certain friend, you go, well, I can never go back because they know. And like, I'd be mortified.
Yep. There's a solution. No other thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Stay away from this man.
Yeah. Smooth talker. I'm just picturing him looking like, who's John Travolta's character in Grease?
In Grease, yeah.
It's giving that.
Danny.
Yeah, it's giving like slicked hair, the little curls, giving Johnny Bravo. I'm just like, ooh. Yeah, too smooth. Hey, little mama. That's exactly what it's giving. That's exactly what it's giving. And I know for a fact that this man probably looks like Evan Peters. Like it's probably the total opposite. So yeah. And just know that like as two women, we would love to get this call from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Mm-hmm. So I bet your friends feel the same way.
And they don't want you back with this man.
Mm-mm. So or do you have a sibling? Or they would feel the same way.
Any means necessary to keep you away.
Mm-hmm.
They might even chip in to hire a moving company.
Yeah, they might throw a party.
Right.
They might pay you in pizza.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we get back, we'll get into the rest.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This episode is brought to you by Peloton. Looking for an easy workout? You're in the wrong place. Peloton Tread has what you need to challenge yourself. Need to be pushed to your limit? Their elite coaches will keep you on track to break past your goals. Whether you're looking to get stronger or faster, Peloton Tread has everything you need to become everything you want. Find your push, find your power. Peloton. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, and it's time for our next write-in.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. How do I get over the guilt of falling for my ex-boyfriend's friend? I, 22, was with Callum, 24, for 3.5 months. In the beginning, he seemed like the perfect guy. However, around the 2-month mark, things started to change. He started to comment on my body, tell me how to dress, and who to spend time with. He would get angry over the smallest things to the point where I would feel unsafe. My friends could see how unhappy I was and tried to tell me he wasn't good for me. However, I refused to believe them. During the first month of us being together, I met his friend Josh, 22. After spending time with him, I found myself wishing I was with him instead. Around month 3, Callum left to go home for 2 weeks, and I was able to gain perspective on how badly he was treating me. I knew that I needed things to end. Josh and I started becoming closer, and I started falling for him more and more. A few days before Callum came home, I decided to tell him it was over. I didn't end things because of Josh, but because I knew the relationship with Callum wasn't good for me. 2 weeks later, Josh told me he liked me. We have now been together for 5 months. It is the happiest and healthiest relationship I have ever been in. When Callum found out, he threatened Josh and I, and they have not spoken since. I still hold on to guilt of breaking up their friendship and causing so much drama. How do I move past this? Feel free to give me some tough love. I would appreciate any and all advice. Here's my thing. Why was he still friends with Callum? Because that is a red flag to me. If after this man knew that you were in a terrible relationship with his friend, I'm talking about Josh. Josh knew that you were in a terrible relationship with Callum. And they remained friends until Callum found out that y'all were dating and ended the friendship. Why was Josh still friends with Callum? It's not good for me. Not good.
Yeah, I wonder what that timeline is. Because if it's like a week or like 2 weeks, that's very different to me. Because, yeah, I'm the same way. Like, automatically, I'm judging Josh if this was who Josh was friends with. Like, it's like you are a product of your friends. And so this sounds like bitchy and I don't mean it to at all, but like, I just mean it. Like, I hope it's like a clarity moment, but it's like, why would you feel bad about breaking up a friendship with someone who's so horrible? Mm-hmm. You're the person who you're dating shouldn't be friends with people who have treated you horribly or who do treat you horribly, because that is co-signing and condoning that behavior. Yep. Like, to me, it is a green flag. If he found out that he started having feelings for you, then he found out. Because, a lot of fucking men are very different with their bros and how they treat women. Finding out that he's treating you badly, automatic green flag is they're no longer friends. Like, right. Would not be friends. Like, so if you're feeling any sort of guilt about it, like, why would you want to date someone who's friends with someone who treats women horribly? Mm-hmm. Like, that isn't like automatic no-go. And I think if like he's not being like upset about it or like talking about like missing his friend or whatever, which he's allowed to miss his friend. He is not allowed to vocalize that to you. That is a inside thought with other people, not someone who like suffered at the hands of that person. But you're allowed to have complicated feelings about like losing friends who turned out to be bad people that you didn't know were bad people. But again, that's not your problem. He should not make it your problem. But if he's like, if he's not making statements that make you like feel guilty or feel bad or whatever, then to me, this is just like you might feel like you've like healed from this past relationship because of the new relationship you're in, but other people can't heal you. Like, it can like take like lots of steps in getting there, and it can be like instrumental in that. But at the end of the day, like, your own internal biases about the behavior you endured and like what you deserve or whatever that is, like, you have to unlearn that yourself. And to me, feeling guilty over this is you still looking at him like a good guy and you being the villain who ruined a friendship, when in reality, your boyfriend should, without a fucking doubt, have dropped him as a friend as soon as he found out about this behavior, regardless if he had feelings for you or not.
Right.
And if you feel like he only stopped being friends with them because of his feelings for you, then like, to me, that says more about who he is as a guy.
Mm-hmm. So take a look at and also like, is he actually like a good guy or just a good guy in comparison to this dude?
Just a better guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very, very, very guilty of that. And like, I also think that like, I'm okay with that being a step. Like, I've had that in friendships and relationships, but like really in friendships where it's like, well, they don't treat me as badly as these other people did. And like, that is sad looking back on it. But like, it took me a while to like have good, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if every friend afterwards, like you're holding a higher standard, it's definitely a long way to go about it. But like, it still is a step, but you have to just recognize that you can't continue to be disappointed by people like that if you put all your faith in them as like they are the good ones. If you can recognize that they're just better, they're not the best, or they're not like erasing any of that, like you, in a sad way, have to lower your expectations of those people because you're meeting them where they're at, which, you know, it's like they could be better. So, but yeah, I think and I don't mean to sound like in a totally like bitchy way or whatever, but I think this is probably a subconscious you problem, in the sense that like you're still holding on to blame and this idea that like you're a bad person who makes other people do bad things that affects other people. And that to me sounds like your ex-boyfriend, like still in your head.
All right. Well, now it's time for Don't Blame Them.
Woo! Don't Blame Them is where a caller will call in or write in with their own advice pertaining to a call that we aired on a previous episode. So they might have their own advice if it's like a workplace thing, something they relate to, they have personal experience with, or it just might be some insights that they have that we didn't touch on that they think might be helpful.
Also, when y'all are writing in, or calling in, please state the episode that it came from and the date of the episode aired. Thank you very much.
Hi, Melissa Megan. I'm 28, she, her, calling in for a Don't Blame Them for the 21-year-old trying to figure out what to do about meeting her 28-year-old boyfriend's son and becoming a stepmom. First, I agree with everything that Meghan and Melissa said. My first piece of advice would be if you're committed to this man and breaking up is not an option for you, I would, 1, suggest waiting until you're at least a year into the relationship. 2, meet his mother first and establish your relationship with her. And then 3, when you do meet his son, have it be a situation where it's just the 3 of you, so that you can both meet without the pressure of other eyes watching you. Last year, I had one of my sisters who was newly separated from her wife bring her new girlfriend and her girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter to our family Christmas. Now, our parents and myself met them a few days prior, but the other 15 plus people all met them at our Christmas celebration. This made for an awkward evening as some of us continued our rowdy festivities, somewhat ignoring the 2 of them, and others missed out on said activities, making sure to tend to her and make her daughter and them feel welcome. That type of situation would not only put pressure on you to perform well as a stepmom in front of the rest of his family, but it would also put pressure on his son to spend time with and be accepting of you. Now, if you're not totally committed to this relationship and getting out is an option, I would do so, because I can also speak to the perspective of his son, as I am a child of separated parents, and my dad met my stepmom, we'll call her Stacy, when I was about 3 or 4 years old. I didn't meet her until I was 5, so I think my dad did a good job of keeping distance until he knew the relationship was permanent. But they were 21 and 31 when they got together, and now I know Stacy expected to have children of her own one day, and that never happened because my dad agreed before they got married, and by the time she was older and ready to have children, he was also older and wasn't interested. And I know that's not the only expectation that was not fulfilled. And though Stacy and I have always had a great relationship, and I'm so happy she's in our lives, she gave up a lot to be with my dad. And as a woman and now as a mom, it makes me uncomfortable that no one spoke up for Stacy or stood up for her when she was 21 and had the opportunity to live a completely different and potentially happier life. I don't think that that it's impossible for this relationship to work, but if you do choose to stay, please keep these things in mind and make sure you have many conversations about the things you want in the future, whether it be children, jobs, or anything pertaining to the lifestyle you hope to live. Because no matter how long the 2 of you are together, you will always be at different stages in your life. I love the podcast so much. I hope I touched on everything. And yeah, I'd love to call back about my dad and stepmom's relationship because that shit is crazy. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.
Call back, please.
Please. And like fantastic insights about like, and like how mature for you now as an adult. And I wonder how much of that has become now that you're also a mom, of recognizing like not just how much your dad remarrying this much younger woman affected you, but how much it affected her, like how much it affected and changed the trajectory of her life. And that how the decisions that you make for your future when you're 21 aren't necessarily the things that you might want when you're in your 30s or your 40s. Like we shouldn't be expected to make those big decisions. And especially when people are older, are saying that this is like a deal breaker. This is a decision you make yes or no. They've made that decision after a lot more years and having had that experience. And yeah, missing out. And like, it doesn't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean that like you're not happy she's in your life, but you know that like this wasn't her only option. She had a lot of other trajectories and a lot of other versions of her life that could have been lived. And and as the caller, like, are you willing to give up all those other possibilities of your life? Because there's just a lot less up for chance then. You know what I mean? Like there's already a family established. So like, you're not cool with that, or like you want to change the dynamic in the sense like you want to have kids like what later on or whatever. Like it's just, there's not a lot of wiggle room or leeway there. Like there's shit's already kind of been decided and figured out. So I also just don't love that because it feels like a fake adult decision. Like it feels like the adults are telling you this is what's going on. You can opt in or opt out. And you're still younger. So like you're going to opt into something you might not know you really want, or you really care about, or whatever. That, yeah, there's always going to be a dynamic there, because when that ages, even if you grow up and you get older, that gap and life experience gap is always going to be there.
Agree. Great advice from the caller. Great insight from I was about to call you Melanie.
Which is crazy because that is your sister's name, but what's your other sister's name?
Megan. I know. That's the thing, is that mix it up all the time.
Yeah.
Great insight from Megan. And thank you all for listening. It's been a great week. These were great calls. Mm-hmm. Very different, outside the box. That nudist one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
We all know. Melissa loves that one. She wants you to send those like retreats you go to. She's a little curious.
I am. I mean, I know that there's literally one in Malibu.
The way I would never want to, because like, I don't want to see someone I know.
Yeah, but I feel like it's older people there.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, tune in tomorrow for Fisting Friday. Tune in on Monday for But Am I Wrong? And Tuesday for See You Next Tuesday. I keep saying, like, if you want to join our Patreon, this is the time to join, but like it truly is, because things will be changing within the next month. We took a step today closer to what the change will be.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we're not just talking out of our ass now. Like, we're having meetings.
Business meetings.
We're having
big
business meetings.
We stand on big business.
We do. Not on little business. Actually, I stand on little business too.
Big business.
I stand on
do you
all
fall?
Cylinders.
Do you fall?
Not anymore. I'm standing both feet very secure.
10 toes down, heels on the ground.
My issue is my toes are never on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I luck on my heels a lot.
I was going to see if you were going to agree with that or not.
No, 10 toes are very rarely down. I've got flat feet and I'm always overcorrecting. Okay, well, we will see you next time. Fuck, I was like, we got to do it at the same time. We don't have one for this one. I was so prepared.
You still weren't looking at me, though.
Because I was trying to think, and
you'll be prepared for the next one.
I'll be okay. Well,
all right. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye. Don't Blame Me is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production sound and editing by Coco Lorenz.
Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
And music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hi,
This is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.
Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the co-hosts of the Christmas. Let me try that again. Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be massively merry,
Oh,
gigantically jolly, fantastically festive, as some people might say, Eric. We are all about alliterations, and we are all about Christmas spirit. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go. It should be like, let's go, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.